Now, I write every week about humanitarian data. I love data, but there's a big problem with the humanitarian data system. It encourages a one-way flow of information. We collect the data from people in communities we work in, our beneficiaries. Then we analyze the data and report it internally upwards to our managers. Then they report it externally to donors, and that's it. Does the data ever get reported back the other way? I mean, if it does, it usually only happens rarely. How often do you get a report back from your managers? Many times the data collectors or enumerators who went out gathering all the data for each report, they never see the final report. And very rarely do communities or households ever get a report about the progress or impact of a program. I hope the level of data reporting you get every day in the coronavirus pandemic inspires you to share more data with your communities and people reached through your humanitarian program. While you're stuck working from home, can I encourage you to create a simple report to share with your communities? I've even made a simple example report that you can go and download and modify to use with your own program. I'll put that link below the video. But I'm going to give you a few very simple tips for how to provide reports back to the people you work for. And please download the super simple template, modify it, and start reporting to your own communities. So, a few tips. 1, make the reports visual. Maybe your donor likes to read big blocks of text, and maybe not, but I can assure you that most humans don't read long reports. We like infographics, we like pictures. Use icons and pictures to convey meaning. One resource that I love is the Noun Project. You can get all kinds of icons, including OCHA's humanitarian icons, and from there for creating your own infographic. Tip number 2, use the local language. A lot of humanitarian reporting in the world is done in English, which means you've got to think through new workflows if you're going to start producing short reports in a local language. The people who maybe write your English reports might not be the same people that should write your local reports. Tip number 3, only report the indicators that matter to people. Don't report everything. Think carefully about the indicators that people most care about. For example, in the coronavirus, we want to know a couple indicators on how bad the crisis is, like the number of cases and the number of deaths each day. And we want to know what's been done to mitigate disaster. We want to know what the plan is to get us out of the disaster. Think about your own program and what people most need or want to know. Only report those things. Tip number 4, reporting to people is about dignity. We report to people that we want to show respect to. So we report to our managers, we report to our donors, we show them respect. By showing respect, they then show us respect. Our managers let us keep our jobs, our donors give us additional funding next year. Well, what about your beneficiaries? If we don't report to them, we show them disrespect. And that's when tensions can start to rise. Show respect, share your information. We're all human. Tip number 5, use simple words. You might be an expert in your sector or your subject, but most other people aren't. Don't use acronyms, ever. Use easy terms that everybody understands when you write a community report. Tip number 6, distribute reports to your local stakeholders. Identify who are key local stakeholders that would benefit by having access to more information. They might include field data collectors, local community governments or leaders, local community households, local clinics, schools, or community centers. Then ensure that they receive regular update reports. Tip number 7, choose a reporting frequency you can manage. You probably can't report your results on a daily basis. But what about monthly? If it's just a simple report, can you produce it once a month? The more frequent you can produce it, the better. Again, just think about how much you appreciate frequent data updates about the COVID crisis. Tip number 8, personalize the report if you can. If you are able to report to each community about the impact in only their community, it might make people more interested. Tip number 9, use a simple reporting software. Use something like PowerPoint to create a simple visual report. Or if you like Microsoft Word, use that. Don't use something complicated. If you make it simple, you'll be more likely to get it done. Tip number 10, get creative about ways to share your reporting. When you report to a donor or manager, they often have reporting templates for you to use. But your communities, they don't have a template, so be creative in how you reach them. community meetings? Sure. Or what about a report on your Facebook page? Or deliver to them via WhatsApp? Or is there a notice board at the local clinic? Maybe post it there. Or deliver hand reports anytime you're doing a program activity. Tip number 11, even if your data is incomplete, report what you can. No one has perfect data, so don't let that be an excuse of why you don't report. Be transparent. If you have data limitations, tell them, but still get out there and show these communities your respect by reporting to them. Tip number 12, your data collection will improve. I promise you this. When you show people respect by reporting to them, they will help you out with better data collection. Your field data collectors will be more accurate and thoughtful in their reporting when they see the end result they help produce. Your households and communities will contribute more willingly when they know they will be recipients of the final report. If you're already reporting regularly to your local stakeholders, good for you. If not, now is a great time to get started. Please subscribe to my channel if you're still watching. If you're a humanitarian or development worker, I try to create useful tutorials and guidance for data collection, analysis, visualization, and reporting. I'd love you to join. So please subscribe and share this video with anyone else who you think would benefit.